Hi everyone. Welcome everybody to the Traders Talk. This is episode number 1, so we're just starting this video cast. It's 26th of July 2020. My name is Adam Nowakowski. I'm the founder and option trading teacher and mentor on optionmindful.com. And I'm here today with Henrik, day trader, and also guest teacher of day trading on optionmindful.com, and we're going to talk today about super important and interesting topics for everyone, trading. So let's just begin, because people probably know who I am because I already published a lot of videos there, but just shortly, I'm Adam, I'm from Poland, and I'm passionate about option trading and sharing my knowledge with people about trading options. But today we'll focus on Henrik and his perspective on day trading, and we both will look at the end at the markets and show you how how two of us have kind of like different perspective of looking at the same charts and looking at the same data. I look at it from the perspective of option trading, and Henrik looks at it from the perspective of day trading, and we both see opportunities there. So we'll discuss that stuff. So let me talk a little bit about Henrik here. So Henrik is my brother from another mother. We are both digital nomads since 2019, and he originally comes from Finland, and he's day trading since 2015. And as I said, he's a guest mentor of day trading at optionmindful.com. He's very spiritual, amazing guy. I'm sure everybody's gonna find Henrik an amazing, fantastic man in this video as he talks, and an amazing teacher. So Henrik, let's talk about you, and let's go to you as a person and as a day trader maybe. And first of all, tell us, everybody, why did you freaking choose day trading in the first place? How did you arrive at that decision?
So I was very passionate about markets when I figured it out, and I feel like, how did I found it? I found it on a couple of days of research. I was unhappy actually on my work, and I wanted to do something else in my life. So yeah, basically a couple of days of research, I found day trading, and to me it was very exciting. A lot of human emotions was over there, and I think I'm still good at playing poker, and poker was my passion as well. So there's a lot of emotion and reading people. So day trading and stock market in general is ruled by a lot of human emotions, and day trading is very active and focused and fast paced. So that was very attracting to me. And also, like, in day trading perspective, you have to learn images and this pattern what we trade. And as a child, I really like to be playing these memorizing games and playing with the cards when you turn around the images. And so that was very, like, first thing which came to my mind. And the other thing is that I was, I forgot, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay, but in general, it was a quick decision. It sounds like you were searching for something and you found day trading, and you kind of like immediately were attracted to it, and went on. And so you've been trading since 2015, right? Something like that.
Since 2015, yeah. I started some research on October 2014, but the real course which I took and be mentored by was in 2015. Yeah.
So it's been quite a while, and so you've been very active during that time. Tell us something more about day trading, and how does a typical day of a day trader looks like. So it's I know, for example, from option trading, I don't need to spend so much time on the computer, like sitting and watching those digits flashing. How does a day, how does the day of a day trader look like? Do you have to look at those digits a lot? And because people imagine that if you are a day trader, that means you spend all your life basically looking at 3 screens on the computer all day long and flashing digits, and it's like crazy, and you like only crazy people do it. is if you bring your perspective on this.
I think it's good for definition first. What is actually a day trader? So it doesn't actually mean that you have to be in the front of the computer for the 8 hours a day. If you have some specific pattern and specific strategy, what we're gonna execute in the first 15 minutes, we can be done for the day. So that's like a short definition of a day trader, and compared to swing trader, which then holds a position for a couple of days to a week. So day trading, you can be done for in just a couple of minutes or an hours. So that's a little bit of a definition of a day trader.
Okay, so and how does it look for you? Do you spend a lot of time on the computer? Do you like in average, do you like what would be the amount of hours per day or minutes or that you spend? Do you have some specific rules when you finish trading, or you know, you just go as long as you like making money, just go full power in it and just, you know, become like millionaire in a day? Or well, how do you approach this personally?
Usually I like to trade between an hour and a half a day, and but sometimes it goes over because I like it a lot and take a little break, and then I come after the trading day for last 2 hours. So typical, like in front of and the active trading would be 2 3 hours maybe, and then after the market closes, I usually do I do the trading review, which takes also a little bit more time. So in general, I think I might spend 4 or 5 hours in everything included on day trading.
So tell us something about like potential gains and losses. What kind of like currency are we talking about? You know, like typically, a typical day in potential gains, potential losses. What and how often do the losses come? How often do the gains come? Because you know, in the end of the day, this needs to be somehow profitable, right? So, and of course, in trading, you cannot avoid losses. So, can you like bring some light on this, like potential gains, potential losses?
Well, first, if we talk about in perspective of small size account, which is, let's say, less than $10,000, it would be realistic to have and slowly grow it, 100 to couple of $100 a day. And for small, bigger account, then we can talk about thousands of dollars. So that would be a potential gains, and potential losses. Also, it's correlated to account size and how much you are willing to lose, and willing to, for a small account it's smaller, and for big accounts it's going to be a bigger than the losses. But it's, as a day traders, we always have to manage the risk, and that's our main purpose. So, and we would like to think about this in the terms of percentage, how we are willing to lose for our account. So no more than 2% for any day.
So if you do
That
a
would
loss
be
of if you do a loss of a couple percent or 2% a day, what do you do then? Do you finish the day, or
yes, I have a set of max loss for myself. So if I lose that, I'm done for the day. And if I lose more than 4% a day, a week, I'm done for the week. And then I relax my mind. I come after the next week then from fresh mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, that brings some perspective. And another thing which I don't have here on the points, but it's actually quite interesting for me to understand, like do you like, how quickly can you get into day trading? Like as a person, do you need to practice a lot before you get into the live accounts and start really day trading, or you can just jump in right on and just play around? Or do you practice on paper for some certain amount of time before you actually trade anything? And why would you do that? Why would you not do that?
Yeah, I think in everything in option trading and day trading, you need first the education before you stump any opening real account and try to do this alone because you will lose currency. And I would suggest that after education, I would spend a couple of months on paper trading before opening a real account and see how are you performing on that on your paper account. Are you profitable? And if you have a strategy and system which works, then you can start slowly and start with small account only for a couple of hundred shares with trading volume. And once you get the your feet wet and you get more experience, then you can slowly start going and going bigger and
Mhm.
start the game. The potential, the key is to stay in the game and be be consistent.
Yeah,
You
it's
know.
very similar to option trading actually. People usually drop out because they're not either consistent or persistent with their decision to start trading. They give up too early, and typically you need to stay in with the idea, with the practice for longer to get good at it. And usually people don't have the patience, and that's what brings them away from option trading and this huge opportunity that it gives. And I guess that's similar with day trading. And another thing that I wanted to ask you before we go to the mentality is like, did you learn this by yourself, or did you use some mentor or some training courses online or whatever, books?
I took a course on 2015 when I started, and I was there for. I took the course and then I started account, but for live account, but then you know a little bit went for a downside for me, and I start losing currency. I blow out a couple of accounts, so I have to figure this out and think differently. So I paid a mentor and hired a mentor for personal coaching. And after that, I start to see more of a green light and progress on my trading. So that's been my short version of how did I start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you spoke about blowing accounts, and this brings me to this question that I have here also on the list, which is a mentality of the day trader. Is this sport for everyone, basically? And I know that there is a lot of stress in it, and you take a lot of risks. But if you could talk about this a little bit more, and how do you manage those, and so on, and do you really think it's for everyone, or does it require some, special mental skills or something like that?
Well, I think the short answer is no. It's not for everyone. No, but everyone don't want to be a day trader, and it's okay. They can. I think it's more about when we talk about mentality. It's about defining who you are as a person. Finding uh, are you comfortable with the high level of risk, or do you prefer like more stress-free swing trading where you can hold the position for a longer period of time and then you don't have to micromanage your position on compared to day trading. And the mentality, this is you have to keep yourself mm, I think exercise is good diet, sleep, um, meditation, that keeps me a lot of in the game, doing the work every day. This is also a kind of, or is it is a job. So if we are uh, not working every day for improving ourselves as a day trader, I think it's because market are changing all the time, then we have to also be, I think adaptability would be the word in terms of mentality as a day trader. And because some patterns don't just work on some markets, so it's important to adapt and mentally be prepared.
Mhm. I know that you are a very, calm guy with very, with ability to handle, like stress and stay calm. So I think it's like, because everybody can imagine, you know, I can just imagine, you know, I'm placing a trade during the day on some stock, and let's say it's Apple, and I think it's gonna go up, and all the patterns are telling me everything is going up, but then it starts going down. And I think that mental part comes in exactly there, where you know, you need to somehow have the experience and understanding that the markets, they move in, you know, differently. Sometimes it may go down a bit and then go up, and you need to be somehow able to handle the situation when you're actually on the minus. And do you still, like, as an experienced day trader, do you still have this feeling, this emotion popping up in you, like when things actually start going south and you're like, fuck, I wanted it to go up, but it's like it's going the other day, what do I do now? And how do you cope with this?
Yes, the emotions, I think they will be always there, and uh, just have to be self-aware. How do you feel during the day? And sometimes if I just feel, you know, generally I have bad sleep or something, I just don't go even trading because I know it's gonna be disaster for my trading day. Another good, when you know, stocks start to go, there's different strategies to how to manage stress in trading. For example, we can go for smaller sizes in, and then when we see the real breakout for a chart that the chart goes up, then we can enter more size. So that's one strategy for managing a risk. And the other one is using just basic stop loss orders versus mental, because if you have a bigger position all the time they're running and you're watching the profit and losses on your screen and you can see that I'm up or I'm up down, then you don't anymore, you can actually react emotionally on that situation and cover accidentally, which was not meant to do. Out of the position, that's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So using stop loss orders helps with the stress, and smaller size. That's how, in terms of trading, when you are actually in the and see these charts and digits
Flashing
flashing
the
by.
digits.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, man. Let's move on. Actually, I have like a couple of more questions here regarding the day trading tools. Because my students, they know like Thinkorswim and they know option trading tools. And actually, Thinkorswim comes also with day trader tools. But just to ask you, what kind of tools are you using and how important it is to use good tools and basically your perspective. I also put here the demo on the list, but I think we're gonna do demo some other time since it's Sunday and there's no flashing digits today. But if you could just talk about the tools that you're using, maybe those also listed here, and how did you choose them? What was the criteria, and what are good ones? What are bad ones?
Yeah, sure. So I have a brokerage account on TradeZero, and that's a very good platform. And the main reason is that why to choose the brokers is about the fees, and it's about uh, the speed of a transaction. So I know that if I buy and press the button, I know that the order is filled immediately. Uh, that's from the side of a brokerage. And for charting, I would use different one, which is called TC2000. That's only based on charting software, and I think we can show it later. Um, those are the two main ones I use, and both of them are paid versions. So I have to pay some monthly uh, payments for day trading for this hard software, and our both softwares. And but still, even on these days, I use a couple of websites which are free to use. Yahoo Finance and Finviz, and also stockmarketwatch.com for pre-market gappers.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah.
How about these other tools, the level 2 and time and sales? These are like secret day traders tools. which you introduced to me as well. I didn't know about them, but they're pretty nice and fancy. Can you talk something about level 2 or time and sales?
Yeah, level 2. So there's a bid and there's a ask size on both sides. So lowest bid from the bid and lowest ask from the offer size. And there on the left hand side, you can see here is probably the share size from the bid and for the ask on your little screenshot over here. And that's pretty much, you can see more on level 2 than level 1. Level 2 is more, you can see more of which ECN does the order come from, and ECN comes from electronic communication networks, which are all over the place in the United States, in Chicago and New York and Philadelphia, so different routes. We can see who are buying and who are selling. And we can see some of the share size, but not exactly. There's a lot of manipulation in level 2. And this level, time and sales is more the real time and data where the buyers or the sellers buy stocks and what is the size. So usually that's what we call the prints, which are printed on time and sales.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool tool. I mean, I've been watching that with you a couple of days, and I never knew about this, and it's very interesting to see how the amounts of people and how they trade live, and how many stocks actually exchange hands within like seconds or minutes. It's like huge numbers. It's amazing. So, but I just never knew that you can use this for your own benefit, like by watching this, making a decision about trading. So it's probably some cool tools that you can teach people about, and people can look into to get a little bit more knowledge. And they're useful not only, I would say, in day trading, also if you're planning to enter position in option trading, I would say, and you have this extra info during the day, you could actually have some cool benefits from that, because you could see if stock is today uptrending or downtrending, or should I wait? And yeah, so this is cool stuff. Moving on, I would like to use this opportunity actually of having you here on this video with me and look at the current market situation and see the opportunities and risks that need to be taken in the current situation. We all know we're in this crazy state of COVID, and being everywhere, markets are spooked, Fed is printing lots of money, there is a lot of volatility. Pre-COVID trading was completely different than post-COVID trading. Economy is collapsing. People think it's great. Gold is going up. So it looks like hedges going up. So people are afraid. Things are really weird on the market. And for me, for example, as an option trader, it's very, very, very different. I see the premiums high. I cannot predict where the price of the stock is going to be in the next 2 weeks. Not talking about the month where I was trying to do that, pre-COVID times. So it's a lot of volatility, and therefore, like on my private accounts, life accounts, I choose to trade much less. However, I know that for day traders, this is actually good. This whole situation, is this correct?
This is very true. Yeah, a lot of, because you talk about volatility, and that's really number one, kind of an indicator for us, because we know that now the price is very moving, and that's where, as a day traders, we really capitalize on. Yes.
I think I want to just move to some charts and discuss them, because we've been talking volatility, we've been talking markets. So let's have a look at the one of the charts and see the VIX and the SPY, and maybe I would like to hear some of your comments on this. I can give some comments of mine. So I will just firstly load SPY on TradingView, and we can clearly see what happened here, like over the period of time. Here is the time before Corona, when the things were going straight up like crazy on the market. Then Corona happened and everything dropped to nothingness. And S&P 500 started the recovery very early here. What was it, like March 23rd? and then going up like crazy. And you see the size of these candles are, that's the daily chart, are huge, like compared to these little candles here.
This is Adam, this is weekly chart.
This is weekly. Oh shit, yeah,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah, still, it's very, very, very similar on the daily one, where you see little candles, big candles, and they kind of remain big size, right? So,
Yes.
yeah, correct. Drop, come back up, didn't fully recover, but I see that there are gappers, that the momentum has slowed down, and it's hanging around in here for a while already. So to me, it clearly looks like we've been recovering technically. We've been in an uptrend. However, the momentum is slowing down since like April. This moments here, then it increased, but then it dropped, and it's kind of like unpredictable where it's gonna go. What do you see?
I see the same here. I see the huge pre-COVID time from early this year, and then this big dump and the amazing recovery over here on the bottom, and then we started this for so long, for April till August already an uptrend, and on mid this is 200-day moving average
Yes,
on
SMA.
red one. So we have a first test and pull back another buy for 200-day moving average sold, holding, and then a clear uptrend to now on the gap towards the gap fill. So we'll see how this affects. As a day traders, we do a perspective on an analysis for weekly analysis, what we're gonna do a little bit for analysis, what is a bullish case scenario.
So you would look like at this, like from this perspective.
Yeah, for this perspective. So a little bit maybe even a back, so we can see a little bit for fuller picture what's going on. But as a bearish case scenario would be that we really break below the 200 SMA, and we are going again at the bear markets. And if we drop and stay in the range of 50, 200, would be a little bit for neutral case, and we are still above on this daily range. And if we again for pullback and we go for higher for 330s, 340s, we are again for running for the highs. That would be like the next week analysis. What do I see here?
So in the end, it's kind of like undecided. You with this candle, you don't freaking know where it's gonna go, right?
Yeah, now when we are on this range, I would trade fast and take fast gains for not holding too many minutes, 10, 15 minutes, and then I would be out of the positions compared to if you break above the 310 or the last highs. I would hold longer. Yeah.
So I can tell you from my perspective, you know, this still looks very like kind of bullish to me. And I also look a little bit into the fundamentals. So what's going on the market, what's the current situation with Fed. And this is very different to like the day trader perspective because I'm looking longer term. So I think that, you know, like the Fed is still continues printing. They continue printing this digital currency, this digits they produce, which is just a unit of measurement of wealth, but nothing more. It's not real wealth what they produce. And we have like much more currency being brought to the market by the Federal Reserve, who, you know, print something out of nothing, and then they buy the real shares of real companies through, you know, some, you know, funds or whatever. They don't go direct yet, but that may happen. So in my opinion, this thing will not stop. You know, they will not stop printing. So my bias to all this is simple right now. I think that fundamentals are absolutely disconnected from the technicals now. Like we had some fundamentals connected pre-COVID times. So if you would look at the company and it's a solid company, it's very likely it's gonna go up, you know, or whatever. Right now, it is completely disconnected. Companies taking huge loans, companies in troubles, airlines still performing, not going down, not going bankrupt, not all of them at least. And those businesses who should be completely exploding, going bankrupt, are not going bankrupt because they are supported by the newly freshly created currency. So from my perspective, I just see a lot of volatility, but I believe that this movement will continue for a while before we experience some sort of another crash, which I don't know where, like you said, this thing's gonna go up to levels of 340s. That would probably mean like double top, right?
Yes.
Would be the moment. And one thing that I was also looking at was not only this US national debt clock, when we see the debt growing and currency supply growing, but I'm also looking at this S&P 500 average monthly returns chart and the cycle thing, about it. So when you look at the typical performance, this is over like 50 years or something like this, it comes in this kind of weird cycle. And we are now in September, October being a month of, crashes, typical, and markets not performing. I wonder, I'm really spooked by that. I really wonder, I'm very cautious when I'm trading, that, again, we may experience some sort of a crash in the month of October or November, or the diseases come back, people start sneezing, and there may be some spooked, outbreak of a virus again. Dangerous. And this creates lots of volatility on the market. And how would you approach that? If another crash comes in, are you still trading? Are you still on the market? Do you hedge somehow? How do you take that opportunity as a day trader? If you could explain that, looking at that chart, and maybe at this part, if this is supposed to repeat again, how would you benefit from that as a day trader?
Well, I would, first of all, I would play the momentum and I would play on the downside. But the thing is that I would cut my normal position size more than probably in less than a half or half, and let that price range do the job for me, and capitalize then on this movement.
So that means you take a smaller risk.
I take a smaller risk, yes, and yes, with a smaller size, but still I can make the same or even more with this bigger range.
Mm-hmm. So you typically would look at, also at the day and the minutely chart, or would you look at the 5-minute chart?
I would like to use 5-minute chart. I use 5-minutely on my.
And what does it tell you? For example, now we're looking at the SPY 320 last day, I guess that was. Like, what do you see? What would you say as a day trader for this 5 minutes, chart?
Well, I can see that, first of all, I would draw a little bit and I draw lines over here for different levels of markets. So first of all, I see the yesterday closing price over here, and then the bigger. Sometimes I zoom even more for 30 minutes, so I can see more clearer support and resistance levels. Mm-hmm. So I can see definitely that if we break above, we can actually extend this chart a bit, or trend line over here. Even this level of 325 would be, to me, again, a little bit for bullish. So I would basically draw different lines for 30-minute chart, we'll see a bigger, clearer support and resistance levels, and then flip it on 5-minute chart to see more of the next level of resistance where the market can cover. And at this range market, I would play only with the range of the markets. So if markets now breaks out, I would then take profits on the next resistance, because I assume that the next pullback can come again, and then probably test this support over here.
Mm-hmm. So you would be looking at it.
So I would play the range, yes.
Mm-hmm. All right. Because you don't know if it's gonna go bullish or bearish, right?
Yes,
And
and
on a daily.
now we are in, because we have to align also with multiple time frames, and then the daily chart here says that we are on this range, and as day traders, the higher time frame manage or is more important to us.
Mhm.
So we know that even though it looks good on 5 minutely, and we can go and maybe go higher, but we can see that there's huge resistance on. We can see that 323 might go over, but when we go daily chart or even 30-minute chart, we can see still of for resistance.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Interesting, man.
Mm.
Do you, because my students know, for example, that before I enter any trades during the day or for the week or something, I usually look at the news, I look at the economic calendar, I look at lots of data actually before I even start thinking of trading. I look at the volatility of the market. I would check, I would check what the economical news, what's going on. Bunch of data, before I know fundamentals of the companies that I trade. Do you do that also for day trading, or are you just purely technical?
So there is different routines which I do on Sundays, and that's going over a lot of different indices of the market. For example, SPY, and then we have a QQQ, which is for tech sector.
Mm-hmm.
I would analyze the tech sector. It's been very bullish. I would go for biotech stock and see how they go and how they would perform on the next week, and then go for a different scanning for sure. That heavy lifting comes on Sunday when I do my bigger weekly preparation for my weekly list, and then I will prepare on Monday the stock list as well. And so, but in day-to-day basis, my watch list would go, and I would renew it pretty much every day. So I want to be in this hot place which are in play just these couple of days, and then find another one. But it's very based on technicals, and the other thing about fundamental is the only thing I do is checking the news for the company. How does it perform? How is it basically good earnings or bad earnings? Is there some news behind the company, some scandal or something which can affect for the stock go down?
Mm-hmm.
And on the mornings, for sure, I check the markets as well as you do. If, if, if my plan is to go for long a stock, but the market is gapping down hugely for some news, I have to readjust for that day and came up another plan. And maybe the market reverses at some day, and then I consider playing long when markets really show me the trend where I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Do you sometimes switch to swing trading from your day trades?
Sometimes I do actually. If I see very hot parabolic move or up or down, uh, and I see good technicals, I hold it overnight usually, couple of days max, and then exit out. On this market, I don't hold that longer because this is crazy, and we can for swing trading. I think it's still quite hard. I I cannot imagine the swing traders really benefit from this this market and not holding for a very long period of time. One day, 2 days enough. Yeah.
I agree, man. So
Mm-hmm.
also, if you look back at SPY, I would say the same to anybody who's trading options. I would saying like, guys, like this market is really crazy. When you're trading, even though things may look really nice today, that doesn't mean they're gonna look nice tomorrow or day after tomorrow. We get like mixed news coming in. Shares, stocks are very volatile, and there is like no guarantee that something's going to be going up or down. So again, to everybody who's like listening to this, education, number one thing, you really need to understand what you're doing. There are many traders on this market who like don't know what they're doing. They just go and buy stocks which are overvalued, and they benefit from it as long as the trade is going up. I mean, trend of the SPY of the market is going up. But one day this may change, and the question is, are you prepared for that? So me and Henrik, we have our techniques to manage risks and to get out. Like Henrik is mostly in a day trading, so he finishes his trades during the day and then goes to sleep nicely with no worries. And me, I just take, I look at the perspective of the how far I can go and predict kind of like the future, how far in the future I can go, and hedge accordingly to this. And knowing that the market is as crazy as it is, I take much less risk, and also extend, for those of you who understand the option trading, extend the brackets of how far I think the price is going to go to collect my premiums. So be very careful with this market. Thanks, Henrik, for sharing all the info about day trading with us. And just to finish this little video podcast, I go back shortly to the slides, because we discussed this, just to how to get in touch with Henrik and how to get in touch with me in case you're interested in working with us or talking to us or whatever. Henrik has his guest email at optionmindful.com for day trading, and he's also working on the new course. Maybe you can tell us something about your new online course that you're producing.
Yeah, it's for the beginners who are interested in day trading and capitalizing short period of time. I'm going to share my knowledge for the past 5 years, what I have learned, and give it to you as a gift and as a product. There's a lot of terms and patterns, what you will learn, and how to manage risk. Everything what is included in day trading and trading in general, I put it on the comprehensive package, and soon I think it's gonna be in a couple of weeks ready, and I'm gonna show it to Adam for the first one, who is what is his opinion, and is it ready for everybody.
Review. You're doing good. I already reviewed one.
Yeah.
Really cool content there. So guys, something cool coming up from Henrik. For option trading, you can contact me, and please visit the academy. Sign up if you want to sign up for online academy for option trading, and optionmindful.com if you want to see also something about my mentoring programs. Henrik, you also do some mentoring. So anyhow, I hope you guys find this interesting, and talk to you on the next episode. Take care, and happy trading in these crazy markets.
Thank you, Adam, for having me.
Yeah, ciao.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks.